Okay, Domenico, can you confirm that you can see the screen? Okay, I've got a message. Everything is all right. Guys, hello on our webinar today. Big thanks for your time that you joined us today. We organized as GF Building Flow Solutions this webinar. It's dedicated for BIM and Revit solutions. My name is Michał Wołowski, and it's a pleasure to start this meeting today for you. Before the final start, let's go through some rules of this meeting. So all microphones are muted by default, but there is option to turn on captions. You are invited to participate in the polls that will be launched during the meeting between main parts. That's a kind of break for us to warm up a little bit between the main parts. Also, feel free to ask questions through the Q&A function during the webinar. We will try, of course, to answer them. However, due to limitations of time, it could be a challenge probably, but we will try. There is disclaimer also regarding GDPR at below. And what is really important, yes, feel free to contact us anytime in your individual case. Our support is totally unlimited and is for free. If you need a contact or to our local representative from your country, please also do contact with us. We will connect you with the right person. And as I mentioned, we will try to respond to all your questions in Q&A function. Okay, guys, let's go to the meat of today's meeting. So this is our plan for today. BIM Platform and Library Revit Plugin. This is a part which I will conduct. As I mentioned, my name is Michał Wołowski and I am BIM Customer Success Manager. I take care about customers, design offices from North Europe, from Eastern Europe and North West Europe. The next part, UFH Revit Plug-in, is about our really nice plugin. It will be conducted by my colleague, Christian Sowa, who is a project manager for BIM and software engineering. And the last part, BIM Service, is a part which will be described and discussed by Domenico Russo, who is my colleague from our team. He's also BIM Customer Success Manager for DACH region, Southwestern Europe, and all international markets. We are a part of research and development team BIM Center in GF Building Flow Solutions. I think my part will take about 20 minutes. Christian's part, so UFH Revit plugin, should take about 50 minutes, and the last part, BIM Service, should take about 20 minutes. Let's go to the next slide. Let's start with my part. So as I mentioned, BIM Platform and BIM Library Revit plugin. BIM Library Revit plugin is our first plugin for Revit users from Autodesk company. It is designed to streamline the creation of installation models by utilizing products from Uponor's extensive range. It solves some issues the designer can find during work with Revit. So automatic routing preferences creation for connection of pipes and fittings in Revit is solved. Easy access to always up-to-date models and product data. You design what is actually achievable and you can buy it and install it during the construction phase. Bill of materials, it can be generated automatically like an make-to-order list. And of course, complete catalog of Uponor GF products available in various formats. Before we go to Revit and to our plugin, I wanted just to mention that generally today we are focused on how to support designers in Autodesk Revit software. However, to meet the growing demand for BIM components, we've expanded our cooperation with more software providers. We've released a portfolio update for users of Solar, Linear, Trimble, and Magic, allowing you to calculate projects using Uponor products in these platforms. We've also set up a process to enable communication between these softwares, tools, and the UFH Revit plugin. If you have questions, feel free to contact us. More software integrations, of course, will be added next year. Guys, it's time for first case in Revit. So let's go to my Revit software. It's Revit 2022. I prepared for today case 1, transition between different pipework systems, and case 2, inserting manifold from Uponor BIM library plugin. Both I will try to solve thanks to our plugin. But let's check what could be the potential typical issue. When you start the project in Revit, this is probably obvious for some frequent Revit users, but if you use generic pipework systems, as you can see in properties, pipe types as a default, and you try to make a transition, for example, like in that case, Revit likes to generate, this error, the routing solution failed because there is no default fitting type specified. And this is one of typical issues, especially at the beginning. As you can see, when you select this default pipe, you go to edit type and to routing preferences. It's totally empty. Nothing is filled. No families loaded in the projects. And yeah, this is a typical situation. However, with our plugin, which you can find here on the top after installation, here Uponor BIM, you can see a few icons, and going from left, there is pipe systems, DAX systems, BIM library, Revit schedules, files, export settings, connect elements, count pipe length, and patterns. Today, to solve this particular issue, I will use pipe systems, and I will show you how to go through this particular case. So let's go to pipe systems now. I click the icon just to learn you. The first thing which is important to solve this case is to choose the interest. So there is infra and building. We are inside today. So let's choose building. It's chosen Deutschland as a market. You can change it to any of your location. Let's keep Deutschland for these purposes. Here we've got option to use always English language if you want, or the native language. So in that case, the German one. Because I don't know German, let me choose English, of course. And then we can go to choose a right system. As you can see here, we've got some heating and cooling pipes, local heat distribution, and so on and so on. For purposes of this meeting, let's choose multi-layer pipe system. And under pipe type, let's choose the MLC pipe white S. As you can see, you already have the preview of the dimensions. So diameters available. The general application, this pipe work is designed for heating, cooling, and tap water. Of course, we need to specify a pipe fitting system. There are two options. Let's choose Express Plus in that case. As you can see, as a default, the plastic fittings are selected, so those products will be imported and loaded into your projects because it's the, I don't know, economic point of view. But if you prefer metal, this is not a problem. You can choose that. Note that the system doesn't completely cover the pipe range. You can solve it by using other systems or other pipe fitting systems. Generally, it's not a problem for this case, but just mind that you have to always be aware of such a situation. If you also know that you will need in your project some other fittings for radiator or for tap water fittings, you can tick them and they will be automatically loaded into your project. If you are done, and we are done now, let's choose the Create Pipe System button. Now our plugin is loading the models, the families into our projects. As you can see, pipe system created successfully. We can click OK, close this window. and we can go back to our case. So as I mentioned, we want to make a transition between different pipework systems with different diameters. I've done the same for other pipework, Uni plus White SDA, so this is already created. Now, whatever, PI from keyboard or using systems here and creating pipe. Let's draw the pipework which I already downloaded using our plugin. Let's choose the MLC White S here and let's put it here. Let's change diameter to 40. And as you can see, still, Autodesk Revit doesn't allow you to create this transition. This is fine. This is normal. How to solve it? Of course, we need to go to properties, edit type, and go to routing preferences. As you can see now, the routing preferences are filled thanks to our plugin. So generally, we are much more closer to solve this issue. However, in that case, let's go to transition. Always make sure here we have only one position, but sometimes it can happen there are more fittings in this system. Always make sure that both systems you want to make a transitions have the same fitting at first positions. There is priority. Revit reads the first position firstly. The tip here is to change the minimum size to all. Click OK, click apply. Okay, this was done for Uni plus White S. Let's do exactly the same for another pipework system. So we go to routing preferences. Under transition, we check that we have the same fitting, and let's change minimum size to all here. Let's apply, let's put OK, and let's try now to create this transition. As you can see, transition is generated automatically, and that's what we wanted to achieve. That was first case. Yeah, time is ticking. Let's go to second case. So second case could mean could maybe seen that is very easy because we would like to insert manifold from Uponor BIM library plugin, but I think we have to comment this and show it. Let's go to our Uponor BIM plugin. There is this third icon from the left, BIM library. Let's click it. As you can see here, we see our portfolio. This is also important to choose the interest first here. It's okay, we are in Germany. We use English language. And there are a couple of options to how to find the product you are interested. So for example, if you know the number of this article of this product, you can type this directly here. If you know that this is manifold, for example, as in our case, you can just select here in the browser tree the manifold. And what is really important, these products available here are filtered to those products which are available in Germany market. So you are absolutely sure that you can buy it, install it, and take it to the construction site. Also, you can go by application. So if you would like to check more our products, you can go and choose just like heating and cooling pipes or manifolds, local heat distribution. For today's reasons, let's go to manifold. We are in Germany, and let's find maybe one or two products which we will put into our new project. Let's choose Uponor Vario M manifold with flow meter. You can directly download it, or if you know that you will need to find another families, another models, you can put it into the basket. Up to you. For this purposes, let's download it directly to our project. The model, the family is already loading. Yes, it's here. Let's put it somewhere down here. I am selecting now this model. As you can see, manifold Vario MFM is loaded. All possibilities outlets are here. Very important remark here is that our general suggestion when you use manufacturers families models is not to flip them. So Please be very careful when you would like to mirror something and using the native feature of Revit. For example, in that case, you see, let's go maybe to 3D. You see that the main return and supply pipework goes from the left, from probably the riser, from some kind of plant room, from the main heat source. And if in your case you need to show it on a right position, don't flip it, as I mentioned, but select the family and always check what parameters are applied here by the company. In that case, as you can see in properties under construction tab, we have a few of them which we added, and to solve this issue, you can just select swap, and as you can see, this main road of pipework from plant room, from main heat source, will change position to the right one. Let's do this again. Swap, and this is the right correct way to do so. If you, for example, need to add actuators, for example, for open or close the water flow to a particular zone loop, also when you select the family, you've got such a possibility here under actuator. You can add it by ticking on the box. It should a little bit bigger down here. What is also, I think, important, sometimes, let me drag it a little bit. Sometimes we want to change and the return with the supply with the upper bar. So when you select it, there is also option to do so. So exchange lower upper bar. Now, please note that the return is below at the bottom. After ticking on this, it should be replaced. What already happened? Let's select it, and I would like to show you also another important thing to avoid overlapping pipework in a layout of return and supply, which goes from or to manifold. You have possibility and parameter here called displacement lower bar. If you select it, the connections will be moved a little bit to right. When you deselect, both of them will be one above another. So if you would like to see them, let's say in more readable version, click displacement lower bar, and I will do this like that. Okay, let's go back to our layout. Those were two cases which I wanted to cover today. Now the question is where you can find this plugin, so, and all other our stuff. This is BIM Platform. It's a website. Let's go to our website now. This is www.bim.uponor.com. This is our BIM platform we are really proud of. And first choice you have to do is also choosing the interest, Uponor Building or Uponor Infra. Let's choose for Uponor Building. Let's go to BIM Library. As you can see, this is very, very similar to what you've got in Revit, but in Revit is typically for Revit users, but here we've got other formats for non-Revit users, which I will cover in a moment based on the same scenario. But firstly, what you need to do here, go here and choose your market, choose your country. Let's choose Germany. Also, like in the like in Revit, you have also options to choose native language or English. Let me choose English. Now we are sure that this portfolio is filtered to what is available in Germany. Okay, let's the same procedure, yes. So you can find the manifold in different ways, but let's choose a manifold here, and let's find maybe even the same manifold. I wanted to show you what are differences here. So as you can see, you've got all possible variants and of this product. You can add all sizes directly to basket or choose the right one you need with, for example, just 4 outlets. And when you go to download button and you click it, you see that we provide you with much more other formats, not only Revit files, but also DWG, also 2D, both and 3D, DXF, IFC, SAT, FBX, and objects. So if you are not typically Revit user, please use browser BIM Platform. But if you are a Revit user, I strongly recommend to download our plugins. You can find both plugins here under BIM tools. When you go here, you've got BIM library, Revit plugin, and UFH Revit plugin. The one I showed you is called BIM library Revit plugin, and you can directly download this plugin here. Just please remember when you want to install it, you have to close the Revit. What is also important, when you choose here the market, at the bottom of each page of each site, you have contact details to your local BIM ambassador. So in that case, in Germany, best greetings to Eugen. Eugen is our BIM ambassador, and he will be very happy to support our German customers regarding any BIM issues. Also, you can contact us directly. Let me check my time. Let me check if I covered everything I wanted. I think that's it. We can now launch the pool just to warm up, to finish my part. If we can launch a short question for our guests today, let's play a little bit now. Okay, the question is, in how many projects do you use BIM yearly? 0 means I am not designer of any BIM projects. 10 means all projects I am doing are being prepared in BIM, maybe in Revit. And just try to vote, and in 5 or 10 seconds we'll see the results. So I think we can close now the poll. It's roughly decision. And let's see the result. For some reason, we cannot now see the results, or I cannot see it. Okay, maybe Christian will cover the results. Christian, stage is yours. Thank you for attending. Christian, stage is yours.
Now we have the results, Michał, if you want to comment.
I see now. Okay, yes. Great. That was a short delay. Oh, that we are quite splitted, I would say. 17% of our guests today to every projects in BIM. Congratulations. But 23% are just before this great step to launch bigger maybe projects in 3D. Very interesting results. Probably someone could write a bachelor's degree basing just on this one questions. But yeah, let's go to our UFH Revit plugin. Thank you for your answers. Christian, stage is yours.
Thank you, Michał. Thank you for this great introduction and very interesting first part of the webinar. I will start sharing my screen. Guys, please just confirm that everything is visible and that you can see right now the PowerPoint presentation. All right. So hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Christian Sowa. I work here as a project manager in BIM and software engineering team, where, among others, I am responsible for development of UFH Revit Plug-in, a tool that I will have a pleasure to present to you today. Let's speak a bit about what is UFH Revit Plug-in. It is an exceptional tool that allows you to design, calculate, and model your underfloor heating project directly in Revit software. Today we will focus on two aspects of the plugin. One would be quick project estimation, so you will see how quickly you can arrive to hydraulic calculation and complete bill of material. And then later I will show you our new innovative features developed recently by our team. These features will include automatic feed pipes generation from the path and copy and mirror functions. Let's jump to Revit then. All right, right now you should see my Revit software opened. I have a model opened here with some Revit architecture linked. I also have some spaces put here already in this apartment, and based on this apartment, I will be showing you today how to get a quick estimation of your underfloor heating project. One more thing maybe about the plugin, where it is located. So as Michał mentioned, you can download this plugin directly from the BIM platform. And after you will download and install, you will see this as an additional tab here on your Revit ribbon. So I have it open, I have it installed. Let's start with our designing process. So in general, we will always start with project data because we need to set up the data for general data for our project. So let's do so. Click on this icon. First, what we need to do is we need to specify the region. Michał today started with Germany, so let's keep it like this. I will select Germany as well. Click apply. Selecting this region will ensure you that all of the items that you will be selecting with the plugin will be available in a given region. So you will avoid some mistakes and you will avoid unnecessary work. All right, in the general data tab, you will find the most important settings for your project. So starting from the top, we have the project scope, very important setting. As I've mentioned, our plugin allows for heating and cooling calculations. So you can either select between simple heating, simple cooling, or you can select mix of these two. So in my case, I would just go for heating and cooling today. And then you will see that already pre-filled is the list of the components of your underfloor heating system. This was pre-filled with our top products for each of the region, just to speed up your work. But of course, you can adjust it to your own preference. So if you would like to use some different system, you can just select it here from this drop-down list. And in this list, we'll have all of the systems that are right now available in our region, which is Germany. What else can be found in these components are elements of underfloor heating system, which is the pipe, panel, manifold, valve, room control system, etc., etc. So all of these settings you can specify in here. In the middle, you will find available pipe spacing that can be adjusted. So in my case, I have selected 100, 150 for my project. And then at the bottom, we will find design temperatures and pressure drop. So first one, there's a pressure drop, and then the design temperatures like internal supply and temperature difference. Please take a look now at the right side of this window, which is a very important part of our plugin. In this area, you will see the preview of the results that can be achieved with given parameters that were set up in here. One of the most important value, I think, would be this one, which is a specific capacity upwards. This means that this is the maximum output of the installation that you can achieve with these parameters. For example, if we increase the supply temperature, please take a look what will happen with our output. It will, of course, go higher. In that case, if you know your heat demand in advance, you can already tell if you would be able to cover this heat demand with these parameters. If not, then you can adjust, for example, supply temperature, if possible, or delta T, or some other settings. All right, if everything was set up here, we can now go to the next tab, which would be the floor structure tab. Here we can set up two things. First would be what is underneath our floor that we are designing. This will, of course, have an effect on our heat losses downwards. And then the second part, also very, very important part, is the cross-section of our floor. Each of the layer here will have an effect on our output up and down, so of our output and our heat losses. Please take a look. For example, if I will change the floor covering here, I have by default ceramic tiles and 90 watts per square meter of an output. If I change it to, let's say, normal parquet, because parquet has much bigger resistance, of course, it affects our output of the installation. So right now, this output dropped from 90 to 60, almost 65 watts per square meter. So as you can already tell, setting up properly at the beginning of the project, all of these settings here is very important, because it will ensure you that later you would get proper results from your hydraulic calculation of the installation. All right, we also have two additional tabs here. One is loop settings and the second is template, but I will not be focusing on these ones today, as we are only going to do at the beginning the quick estimation of your project. So if you are doing quick estimation, we will be not drawing any pipes in the model. So simply after everything was set up here, I will just click OK. And right now it will be the time for the plugin to load all of the necessary data to our model. So depending on what type of components were selected, type of manifold, type of pipe, and so on, these families will be loaded into your model. Also, some additional data like view templates, schedules, and so on and so on. All of these necessary, let's say, data will be now loaded directly into your Revit model. This can take a bit of a time, but thanks also to this selecting of a region, as I said, you are sure that you will only design with correct items for each region. All right, this should be done exactly right now. Okay. Before we start our design process, I always advise to the designers to use our view template for the floor plan. So let me just change it right now. We provide the view template that's called Upo template. If you are using this, which I always advise to do so, you are being sure that all of the necessary visibility settings are correct, and you are seeing exactly what we want you to see for you to be able to design properly with our plugin. So please always remember, during using of our plugin, I strongly recommend using our view template. All right, now would be the time to insert the spaces. So if there are no spaces in your model, now would be the time to do them, to use them. But I have them already inserted, as I showed you before. And one more thing I will mention about these spaces is I put some values in design heating load parameter because I would like to show you how quickly you can transfer these parameters into our plugin. So let's now go to the third icon here, the icon loads. It will open the window with the list of all of the spaces that you have in the model, and also with the tables regarding design heating load, and in my case also cooling load, because as you remember in the general data, the scope was specified as heating and cooling. So if I have value of my heat demand in some parameters already in space, I do not need to manually rewrite this here into the plugin. I can simply use the option import from space, select the proper parameter. In my case, it would be design heating load. Click OK, and now already these values are filled here to the correct spaces. Another way how quickly you can put these values in is if you are assuming some coefficient. So for example, if for the cooling, you would like to assume some value, let's say 30 watts per square meter, you can click on specific load, select here cooling, put, let's say 30 watts per square meter, click OK. And for all of these spaces, this value would be filled already. Another option to do so is to import from the Excel file if you have your heat demand or cooling demand in Excel, or please remember that you can always just put these values manually, right? So if you have them in some PDF file or some other source, you can always just type these values manually, and that's it. If everything was set up properly here, let's just click OK. And right now, let's go to the real design, let's say, to where the fun begins. So we would start with inserting the manifold. So I would click on the icon insert here in the part manifold and put my manifold. I can rotate it, of course, before placing somewhere in here close to this bathroom, let's say. Michał was already telling you a bit about this manifold, so I will not be saying much here, but I would only mention that Michał was saying about this displacement lower bar that would allow you to avoid overlapping of the feed pipes. As you can tell, when you are inserting the manifold with our plugin, this parameter is checked by default, right? So already just for your better use, it is already checked in. If we have the manifold in our model, next what we need to do, of course, we need to insert our heating and cooling floors. So I will use the option place floors automatically. In this window, I would just select all of the spaces. In all of the three, I want to insert the floors. Click OK. And these green floors appeared in my model. If we click on them, we can tell that this is the UFH standard zone floor. If I have floors in the model, next what I need to do is to connect these floors together with my manifold, so to assign them together. To do this, I will use the option Assign, located in here. Select the manifold, select all of the floors, confirm with Finish. And now the plugin will also ask me about the name of the manifold. Let's say I want to leave it as M1. Click OK. And now two things will happen. So, or even three, because one thing would be that these floors will be assigned to the manifold. Second thing is you see these connectors have appeared. These connectors will be used as elements that would indicate where you insert into the floor with the feed pipes coming from the manifold. So after the calculation, they will get the pipe spacing. You will see how to connect them. Before we go to the hydraulic calculation, it might be needed to do some editing to your floors. So, for example, if you need to cut out some areas, let's say here underneath the bathtub, it is very easy to do so using the Edit Boundary option here. So you just click on Edit Boundary and edit the shape of the floor however you want. Let's say we will do something like this. Click OK, and now underneath this bathtub, we will have no underfloor heating placed. Another way how you can edit the floor is you can, for example, divide it. So this area of the floor is pretty big, so for sure we would need to divide it into two parts. We can do this, let's say, according to this wall. I would draw detail line. Firstly, this is the native Revit option. So if you type DL on the keyboard, it would give you exactly the same function. And then next, I would click on split floor, select the floor, and select my line for the division. Click Finish, and I will end up with two separate floors. They are already connected to the manifold. After hydraulic calculation, the connector will appear, so you do not have to worry about this at all. One more thing before hydraulic calculation that you might want to do is, as you remember, in general data, we were setting up, for example, floor covering. We set this as parquet for all of the floors, but you can edit for each of the floors individually, of course. So I have opened here the bathroom floor. I will change, for example, the supply temperature. I will also change the covering here in floor structure tab. So from parquet, I would just go to thin ceramic tiles. I think it would be more appropriate for our bathroom. All right, if this initial editing was done by you, and if it was required, in my case, I needed to cut this out and divide this into two. If we did this editing, then it's a good time to go to hydraulic calculation window. Let's do so. So let's click here in part calculations. There's hydraulic calculation window. Click OK. Select the manifold. Click OK. And two windows have appeared. The first window is the window regarding warnings and errors that are within your installation. So you can expect here warnings about not covering your heat demand, or about laminar flow, exceeded temperatures, and so on and so on. These type of warnings might appear here. You can close this window right here. And let's talk a bit about this hydraulic calculation window. So this window was divided by us into two parts. The part at the top is regarding the manifolds, and the part at the bottom is regarding the floors. So all of the necessary parameters were placed here in the manifolds and floors tab. You can scroll to the right to see all of them here. If there is a need for you to edit, for example, pipe spacing or delta T, you can easily do so. For example, if you want to edit pipe spacing, you just expand the list and select different pipe spacing. If you want to edit delta T, you can just type in different value in here, click apply, and it will be recalculated. You can also easily switch here between heating and cooling modes. So if you see here, I am in the heating mode. If I just click here, I would be easily switched to the cooling calculations. If you are wondering, and maybe you are wondering how we were able to get these calculations already at this stage, because I would like to remind you that we do not have any pipe yet inside our model. We were able to do this basing on virtual lengths of the pipes. So we are calculating the distance between the connector and the manifold, and also we are calculating the loop length inside the floor basing on the area and the pipe spacing. And thanks to this, without drawing any pipes in your model, you are able to get hydraulic calculation, balancing, as you can see, and also the bill of material. Let me close this window by clicking OK. And just to confirm my words, I will now go to the results icon, select the manifold, click OK, and we can already inspect the results for our quick estimation of the project. So here we have the general data, list of rooms heating, list of rooms cooling, and lastly, bill of materials. This can be exported to the PDF as well. Let me quickly show you this PDF that was exported. So once again, we have the general data, list of rooms cooling, heating, list of rooms for cooling. Then there is results for hydraulic calculation, the same what you saw in the hydraulic calculation window in the plugin. And lastly, there is a full bill of material. As you noticed in the model from the families, basically I have only the manifold right now. This is the only family that I have in my model. But it was not a problem for our plugin to generate you full bill of material with all of the items necessary to complete this installation. So I hope to conclude this first part, I hope this would be something useful for you. And if you would face the need of doing the quick project estimation, or if you are at the early stage of your project and you want to present some initial bill of materials, then it is very easy. I think without my talking, it would took like 10 minutes to do this apartment, to be honest with you. If you are fluent with this plugin, maybe even less. So it is very quick how fast you can do this type of estimation for your project. That's it when it comes to this basic quick estimation of the project. And right now, I would like to show you some new features that we've developed for this plugin, because we also, of course, know that this plugin can and is used for the quick estimation, but also our clients use it for the full complete project of a proper project of this type of installations. And if you were doing this in the past, you already know that drawing all of these feed pipes from the manifold, connecting to the floors and so on is taking lots and lots of time. And we are constantly thinking how to speed up this process for you. So let me show you now what are the couple of the features that might enhance and speed up your design process. So I would firstly adjust my connectors. Please allow me to do so. I would put them in the correct place where I would like to enter with my pipes. And this one, maybe I will move a bit here. Maybe also a bit manifold from this wall. All right, and the first part for generating the feed pipes would be to use the option connect that we have here, because you know, the manifold is placed at a certain height. You would need to go with vertical pipe, then make a bend, then insert the floor. To avoid all of this, please, you always use our option connect. All you need to do is select the manifold, accept these properties, and select the point for direction somewhere in here, let's say. Already it was generated automatically. Let me select this, go to 3D. Since we are in Revit, let's use the advantages of this software. So go to the 3D view, maybe also do it like this. And please see, this was generated all automatically. I just clicked one function and all of these pipes with bends and at the proper height, we are inserting the floors, all of this generated automatically. But that's not the end. You do not need to anymore draw these feed pipes one by one, because we recently developed this new feature called generating from path. What it means is that all you need to do now is you need to draw the path from the detail line. Once again, we will be using this detail line here. And then based on this path, the plugin will generate feed pipes for you. So let's start doing so. I will type DL on my keyboard, and somewhere within the box of the manifold, doesn't matter where, let's say somewhere in here, I will just click. All you need to do is make sure that this line is within the box of the manifold. I will go and connect my first connector. Also the same case, does not need to be very precise, does not need to snap to anything. All you need to do is make sure that this line is within the box of the connector, and that's it. All right, and the first connector is connected with my line. Now I will just continue my path starting from here. Let's say here I will just go down to fill out this gap, here, up, and to the next connector, somewhere in the middle of it. And then lastly, I have also this connector here in probably bedroom or this type of room. So once again, DL on my keyboard, something like this and like this. So all of my connectors here are connected. This one I will leave for last, because if the manifold is located in the same floor, in the same room as a floor that you would like to connect, you need to cut out some part of the area here to be able to easily bend the pipe. Because as you know, we are in Revit. It is not we are not drawing lines, but we are drawing pipes. So you need to have a space to properly bend this pipe. I will show you that in a second. But first, let's focus on this path that is now drawn. Let's click here on the feed pipes and generate from path, the first option that we have here. Type in the pipe spacing that you want to use. So let's stick with 150. And now select all of the detail lines that were drawn. So I will just draw this rectangular, click finish. And then all you need to do is point to the plugin from which side of the connector you want to start, because you can either start from right or from left. I want to leave this right feed pipes for this connector. So somewhere in the left, I will just click, and that's it. All of this was generated automatically. I can maybe reverse this for a second, just to give you, zoom out a bit and give you a full picture of this. So one more time, generate from path, select all my feed pipes, click finish, point for direction, the path disappears, and what appears in the place of this path is, as you see, the connectors with the proper pipe spacing of 150 millimeters that we were just specifying. I hope this feature will speed up your design process. I know it is already used by the customers and by our designing team. We are also improving it all the time. So I hope this feature will be something that that might be a very good way for you to speed up your design process. Due to limitations of the time, I cannot show you the full process of designing here, so please allow me to jump to my second project that I have prepared. It is exactly the same project, but what you will see here is that these areas below the feed pipes were cut out and changed the type to feed pipe zone. And also, this is what I mentioned to you before, you need to have some space to bend the pipes to this connector. I simplified this like that, so use it in that case. I speed this up because I wanted to show you also two other features that we have. So it will be copy and mirror. But before I will do so, I would like to complete my installation. And completing the installation means, of course, to generate the feed pipes. You can, of course, draw this, sorry, not feed pipes, but the loops. You can, of course, draw this manually, but there is no need to do so with our plugin. So we can just click here on Generate Loop icon, select all of the floors, click finish, and right now the plugin will generate the proper shape of the loop. You can select between spiral and the meander shape. In my case, I selected the spiral, so this is the result that I am expecting. So I expected the spiral shape of the pipe, and this is exactly what I got. If there is a need for you to edit this layout of the loop, of course, it is possible. For example, here, let's say that I would like to fill this gap a little bit more. I can simply edit this manually, so delete this bend, and right now use draw pipe like this. And we have this gap field. So very easy is this also to fill this these gaps if necessary, if needed to correct something. As you see, very easy to do so. Before I will show you copy and mirror functions, let's go to hydraulic calculations one more time. Let's inspect what is happening there right now, because you need to understand one very important thing about this plugin, that before it was taking the virtual lengths of the pipes when the pipes were not in the model, but right now, since we have all of the pipes already drawn, it will take the physical lengths of the pipes directly into the hydraulic calculation window. So any changes that you made here, for example, that we fill this gap, will have an effect on the hydraulic calculation. So this is as close to the reality, let's say, as possible, right? Because you have exactly the pipes drawn and exactly the same loop length is here in the hydraulic calculation window. If nothing is to be changed here, let's just click OK to confirm it. And the last two features that I would like to present to you is mirroring and copying. As you were listening to the Michał's part, he mentioned that mirroring the manifold is something that we do not advise. It would not work properly if you just mirror this manifold. Also, it would cause some issues with the pipe systems in pipes. This is something that we were able to correct within our plugin, and we developed these two features, copy and mirror. I draw here the detail line because, as you see, on the right side of this building is symmetrical. So on the right side, I have exactly mirror of the installation that is on the left. So you do not need to draw from scratch the second part. You can just simply finish up this part and then select it. Click on mirror in here. Select the line for mirroring, this detail line that I draw in here. And right now, the plugin will mirror the whole installation, mirror the manifold properly as well. It will also ask about the name of the new manifold, because two manifolds cannot have the same name. So we will specify the new name. And according to this new name, also the systems, let's call it M2, also the systems will be renamed. So let's give it a second to do this job, and then we will be able to see, after I zoom out, this installation was mirrored exactly like it was here. You can click on the manifold, see that right now it is renamed to M2, and also the systems were renamed. So system name, you see now it is M2, and in the loop it is also M2. That's how easy you can mirror the installation. The same way goes for copying it. So I will jump now to the second floor of my building. This is exactly the same floor that was below. So if this is the case, I will just simply set up once again the view template, go back to my floor below. Let me just click to close this 3D. Select once again this installation. Click copy between views, in my case, not in the same view, but between views. Wait a bit for the plugin to put this all of this necessary data to the clipboard, and then jump to the second floor. And here I will use the option paste, and in my case, align to current view. Say I will choose this one. And right now, the same case as with mirroring. So the plugin will ask for the name of the new manifold. Let's say I would like to name it M3 to avoid naming it the same. And very quickly, the plugin will rename it, also rename all of the systems. So right now, the same case, if we select the pipe, for example, you see that it is named M3. Okay, and lastly, we can also go to the hydraulic calculation. So you can see that right now we will have 3 manifolds there. So I will select all of them, click OK. And in that case, I would like to show you that if your building is symmetrical, all you need to do is design one part, make sure that it is properly set up, and then you can just mirror and copy it, and it is no problem for this plugin. Let me close the results window, and you will see here exactly the same or very, very similar results that are now to this in these three different manifolds. All right, guys, that would be it from my side. This is all that I wanted to show you. So just to sum this up, so the first part was regarding hydraulic quick project estimation, and the second part about our new innovative features. This is, of course, not covering the whole abilities of our plugin, the whole scope of this plugin. That's why I would like right now pass the voice over to Michał, and he will tell you a bit more about our proposal for the trainings that we provide. So thank you guys very much for listening about the plugin. I will stop sharing the screen now, and I will pass my voice over to Michał. Michał, I cannot hear you. I don't know if Domenico has the same.
Yes, I don't hear you, Michał.
Maybe it's the microphone.
What about now? Is it better?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for double check. So I am happy to be back. Thank you, Christian, for this great presentation. I am still impressed about these features. I noticed in the chat that there is Igor Spaks from Latvia with us, Mrs. Gabriela from Slovakia, and company Modior from Slovakia. Those guys are using this plugin, UFH Revit plugin, for last 3 years almost, as far as I remember. So they will appreciate, I hope, those automatic feeding pipe generations, because it changed a lot, I think, especially on big residential designs. So happy to see you guys there. Probably there are more our frequent users. Let me share my screen again, just for 2 minutes. I wanted to share with you what we can support you with regarding the UFH Revit plugin. So this is all for free basic training. As Christian mentioned, today we had not enough time to cover everything and to show you how from scratch, from linked architecture, to create complete project with full bill of material, with full hydraulic calculations, and with everything modeled. So if you are interested in such a training, this is for free. Contact us. It takes about 60 to 90 minutes with Q&A sessions, probably about 2 hours, but it's for free for your staff, for your design team. I will be very happy to conduct this. Also, we've got advanced course. So this is a kind of refresher, maybe for our frequent old-time users. So we can conduct a refresher with new features and basing maybe on your architecture, because this architecture was quite easy, you know, perpendicular walls and so on. But in practice, we've got more circular walls sometimes in projects, or maybe columns in the middle of the floor. Let us cover this. If you are interested, just contact us. Also, use design consultation with us. So on our daily basis, we support customers and design studios around Europe, and we just double check with you. If you will notice any error, you will have some doubts regarding our plugins, but not only, maybe with Revit. We are BIM center, we are BIM specialists. We'll be very happy to support you even on typically Revit issues. This is for free. Call me anytime you need. We can be in constant contact. Last thing, we notice sometimes that there are quite a lot of companies which are typically 2D design studios, but they are thinking about switching to 3D and BIM and Revit designs. If you would like to upgrade your competences, to train your team, this is possible now with us, together with our Autodesk professional partner, ISC Design Company, gold partner of Autodesk. We prepared today full course with certificates granted after this Autodesk course. It's tailored typically for MIP designers. So with our best experience, basing on our daily work, we try to cover, you know, all stuff which you can face when you model your pipework systems. So I think it's really tailored for even not MIP but pipework designers. So please feel to contact us regarding this. This is payable, but with very good pricing. Also for webinar participants, if you would be interested, just contact us regarding this basic Revit MIP course. And last thing, just to finish Christian's part, this plugin, of course, you can find on our BIM platform. As I mentioned previously, under BIM tools, there is UFH Revit Plug-in. You can download it here, find some description of this and some basic manuals on YouTube. What is important to use it? You have to just register yourself. This is totally for free. You need just to choose your main interest, country, and yeah, first name, last name. That's it. Submit. You will receive the email with a link which you need to click. That will finish and confirm that you are interested in using our BIM platform. Totally for free. Both plugins, registration. Feel free to register. I think we can now launch the second questions for the poll. Okay. Do you use models provided by the manufacturers, any, in your projects? It's single choice. Let's check how our today's guests are using such models, families. It is important for us, but also I think it's interesting for all BIM users, Revit users among Europe. Probably answers will be different, but let's see. This is a short break just to warm up a little bit. Grab a coffee or water, answer the question, and in seconds probably we will see the answers. Okay, I think we can think about closing the poll. And yes, there are results. Okay, so guys, to be honest, I am surprised. I think more than half, this bigger half, as they say, uses manufacturers' families. It's really interesting. I would ask each of you separately, what are you using and for which kind of projects? Very interesting. Nice. Okay, guys, that's it from my side. Now is the last part. Domenico, Russo, stage is yours. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Miko.
Just stop sharing.
Yeah, and I will take the control. Now it's tough for me to take part after your presentation, guys. So I will try to go to it. Just a second. Okay. So I am Domenico. I am also part of the BIM Service team. As Miko, I'm working strictly in contact with the customer, in my case, from DACH region, Southwestern Europe, and out of Europe, so in the international environment. I'm here today to present you our BIM design services. It's a topic particularly important for me because I had the luck to contribute to the development of these services. And we kept them at last, not because are less important than the tools that the guys have presented, but because this close a bit the circle of our offering. So with Miko and with Chris, you had the possibility to see our free tools that basically are a way to get in contact with the customer, but on different levels. So with the library, you use the components. So on your own, you start modeling your project using our components. On the second level, you use our tool. And obviously, you get even a bit more close to us because of the support that Miko presented before. And here, basically, you get the closest possible to the Uponor design team because you ask us to prepare the design for you. In general, there are a lot of points that I could present as advantages of our service, but I also want to be very practical and brief and leave this talk to the marketing or to the website. Because what I really think is the benefit of this service is the expertise we put in the game. Uponor is in the design field, in the engineering field since many years. So in this service, you can find the BIM competencies that I hope you are appreciating during this webinar, but also the engineering competencies that our design can put in the game, as I mentioned before, and the knowledge of our solution and portfolio. When you combine these 3 points, this makes us the best partner to design, let's say, using our solutions. So this is the real strength of our BIM service. And we mean it not only for the designers, because obviously we have a lot of scripts, tools out of the one that we show that we use internally that speed up a lot the process. But also because we know what the installers need to have. So we think this is a very good part of our offering for designers, installers, and contractors. And you will see also for off-site modular manufacturer. But as I mentioned before, I want to keep this practical because I want to keep up with the guys. We will have a challenge later, how many guests stayed until my part. So I need to compete here. So what I want to do today is to show you some sample of the models. I have prepared for you 4 different samples. These are not real projects for privacy reasons, but are very similar to what we receive in our design team. 4 different models, 4 different applications. I could speak hours on each of them, so I took just a few parts that I think are interesting and maybe interesting for you. Let's start. First model that I show you, industrial underfloor heating. This kind of application are really raising on the market because in general, logistic companies, but also real estate, design and build companies that are in this field are now digitalizing their processes because they want to have for the construction site the digital model, but also for the facility management, they want to provide when they hand over the project, the asset information model for facility management. So we see a lot of cases regarding this kind of installation. In the specific, this is I'm showing you a Tickelman solution that optimizes the number of the manifold with the loops, so it covers great area. The detail that we show here is very high, but I can guarantee you that it's not only because of the test, but we have also very high quality standards also in the modeling and in the drawings. But what I think that this kind of this kind of design is really helpful is in the construction document, obviously. So you can find in our model, in all of our model, a space dedicated to the technical drawings. Hydraulic calculation that are always useful for the designer, but also for reading the setting of the manifold, so for the installation. And here I will be very obvious. Also, you can keep track of the material that then have been used within the project. This is the first example, so let me switch the screen to the second. Other installation, always radiant heating and cooling. This is an installation realized with our Thermatop panel. This is also a kind of installation we receive often, generally in offices, but also in multifamily house, and is very often combined with underfloor heating. So this is used for cooling or mainly for cooling, and underfloor heating, let's say, can have only for heating or combining heating and cooling. Okay, also here I will be very obvious for the Revit user, but I think that this model is the clear example of what does it mean coordination, because probably with underfloor heating, not always you will have the need to coordinate with other discipline, but with the Thermatop panel sealing solution, this is very important. So in general, the manifolds are in the technical rooms and they need to be coordinated with the other installations. The panels have to be coordinated with the lightnings. But also here is where I become very obvious. As Chris said, we are not designing in AutoCAD anymore, where a line, it's a line and could be everything. So I have a background as an architect, and I'm not telling you what I did in my drawing at the universities. But here, if you don't have the space to bend the pipe is visible, and if you need a space to reduce from one dimension to another, it's visible. So over here becomes everything a bit more serious. And as you can also imagine, you need to keep up with this information also in the bill of materials. So one thing is to keep track of the blocks in a AutoCAD files. Another one is to have, after you configured the system, the automatic coupling, reducers, and this. And also when a different size of pipe is used. Different kind of panels, how many they are, and so on and so on. And also, as I mentioned before, technical drawings, hydraulic calculation, because this is also part of our standard. Third example. I don't want to show you only radiant heating and cooling, because Uponor is not only radiant heating and cooling, but we are extensively in, let's say, the design of a plumbing solution. So that's why I'm showing you another model that, to be fair, this is the same example that Chris was using for the training. So I'm showing you a larger use of it. Here, there are 3 installations combined. So you can see our loop. So this is underfloor heating. There is heating and cooling distribution and tap water installation with a ring installation in this case. Our German attendees will be very happy because it's one of the solutions very used in Germany. And we connect everything with another key product of our portfolio, that is the CombiPort. That is a system that enables you to decentralize the primary network on the level of the apartment. Why I'm showing you this is also because as a Revit user, I know how it's boring when you have a lot of information in the model, because obviously you have different components, you have different project parameters, everything is assigned to components, and when you use different tools, probably you will have also a lot of parameters. I'm not saying that we do not use different tools for all the installations, but what we try to do is always to align all the information to our matrix of parameters. And this I can tell you that we are really proud of, because we studied each component of our library, so we know to where the project parameters, to which Revit category they are assigned, and we use a matrix of Uponor parameters for all the installation. Now you see a lot of them because there are 3 installations plus the CombiPort, so it's a quite challenging example, but in general, you know what other software, how many parameters can inject. So this is also something that I wanted to show, and obviously parameters will be stored then, will be used then indirectly to populate the drawings with the tag or the sheets with the schedules. Okay, I have a last example for you because I see I'm going a bit long. This is something that probably is not very common, and many of the customers do not associate to us. I can tell you that our colleagues from US are really in this kind of topic, so prefab solution and kitting projects. And in this case, I'm showing you an example of prefab bathroom pod. So here the model is pretty small, nice, quick, very handy to show. And what I can tell briefly here is that it's easy to imagine which is the main use of these models. So when the customer receives this model, he has a digital prototype to validate before to build it up. So before to go to shop, let's say. And this is something that already enables the designer or the modular offsite company to see where the adjustment needs to be done. Together with the design that we propose, there is always the bill of materials, that is the list of products to order. Here I also appreciated a lot the cooperation that we are having lately on the topic with our customers, because in general we cooperate with the guys that are realizing. So we enter in the same common data environment, we try to exchange the file there, we make the adjustment on the request that we have, and I have to be honest, it's a really pleasant cooperation, also because it's not only delivering the model, but to arrive to the solution together. Obviously, I'm not hiding the advantage here is that you have the list of products to use, and you go directly to, with our sales representative, you can directly access the products. Well, this is the model I wanted to show you. So as I said, for time reason, I had to be brief. I could not show you everything. But as the other guys showed, we try to keep all the information on our platform. So if you go to our website, BIM Service, at the end of the page, you find the references and that I showed, but also something more like EcoFlex. And yeah, we use the Autodesk Drive. So this is will be very comfortable for the users of Revit, because there is the same interface of the Autodesk viewer. It takes a lot because it's a very heavy model, and I opened before, but I was not really lucky, I see. So you can navigate the model, you can click, check the properties, check the drawings that we loaded. Unfortunately, schedules in the Autodesk viewer are not visible, so we added them to the sheets, just that you can really touch the deliverable. Okay, I go back to the presentation because I didn't mention the topic of the price, because I wanted to catch you first. Because as you probably read in the previous slide, this kind of service, we give it under payment. And it's not really about the payment, but it's about the value of the service. Obviously, I've showed you example also of a certain size, but for the kind of installation that you choose, or for the time that we need, there is the work of a designer that, even if the process is smooth, can take dozens of hours. So in general, we put a value to this service that does not really always mean that there is a price, but has to be combined with our product offer. So in general, to this process, you will always get in contact with our BIM ambassador and one person for the sales, and in the optic of the project, we'll evaluate which is the business opportunity that is generally connected to the possibility to sell the products. Here we are not a design office, so we do not compete with design office. What is the asset of this service is that they are complementary to our products. And one more thing, what I showed you today, I can really vouch on it because we prepared also the design standard on the paper. So before each project, you will get the timeline, the price, you will get the technical specification. That means which objects are in your model and which parameter you find. This is a way to ensure that you get the quality that you expect, because you received this before. Okay, I think this was all the part on the service. I hope I was in time, because I want also to have the time for the poll that Yaroslav will launch now. This is a very, very general question. I know that it's not even, does not have all the value when it's not connected to all the markets, because you don't see from where our user is from. But we would like to know how do you see the market is keeping up with BIM? Because also we are really in the regulation topic. I'm from Italy, so I know what happens in 2025, but also I know the regulations that are happening right now in Germany. So there is a bit of movement on this topic. So I'm very curious to see also how the construction market is going with BIM. Also in connection to the first question we made about how you use it, so how you feel the market is and where you are. This takes a bit, so as soon as the results arrive, I will comment them. Yeah, as I was telling you earlier, just to earn a bit of time, in Italy, for example, 2025 is a key years for public project. Also in Germany, there is a really nice standardization process that is made in phase, and it's for the design now, I think, of public infrastructure and the federal buildings is mandatory for the design phase, and in the next year will go up to the other level of the construction sector. So all for the construction process and for the facility manager a bit later. So it's a really nice regulation. I still do not see the results. So maybe I will hide a bit this. Okay. Okay, so positive is that I see that there is somewhat prepared. So later I will check also from which country they are. But still there is some countries that see that is still not ready. Very nice also to see that there is only one that thinks is highly prepared.
Yes,
Okay. Yes, Miko.
No, just wanted to make a joke that this one guy, please contact us directly, but feel free to contact us even when you think that your market is not ready. We are ready to support. Our support is for free. We'll be very happy to cover all your questions. I tried in the meantime on a chat and on Q&A feature to answer your questions, but if you have more, don't hesitate and contact us directly.
I'm checking my time as well. We have 9 minutes, so I will go for the final recommendation. Maybe then we can see if there is some question we can answer live, but I'm not sure about it. I have also the honor of making the conclusions. Here, what I want to tell you. Obviously, there are different channels that you can use for getting the information. BIM portal is first of all. Then we have also our Uponor campus with the courses on the modeling, on the use of UFH. We have some also YouTube videos. So there is a bit of material you can look. But we really would appreciate if for any contact you can reach directly to me, Chris, or Miko through the BIM support email. So you have seen today all the levels of our offer. So you have seen the library, the plugin, the service. We had a bit to find the best way to make it catchy, presentable. So there is a lot that we couldn't tell. I want also to add something of records. So in general, we are a very enthusiastic team. So Miko has a lot of experience in Europe, in UK, in the Netherlands as a project manager, as an HVAC expert. Chris is a brilliant designer. He can give advice to all the designers that we meet. He has always very brilliant idea. I was a BIM consultant, so I still feel a bit like a BIM consultant. So I know something about Revit, Python, Dynamo. So in general, if you get in contact with us, we are always eager to see what's happening in the market and where the topic is going. So we truly invite to get in contact with us, not only for what we showed today. Miko, do you see some question? Because I don't.
I'm just answering now.
Okay.
So maybe just to make a general conclusion regarding last question. If you are interested in those free trainings regarding our plugins, UFH and library plugin, please contact us on the email which actually Domenico just shown, or you can directly contact me or Domenico, and I am sure we will find the suitable time slot for you. We'll be very, very happy to meet you individually and to learn you the whole process. Not only Revit and BIM modeling, but also maybe best practices of approach when you design heating and or cooling pipework systems. So feel free in the chat. You can find our emails. I am just typing these emails for 5th or 6th time now. So please go through it and contact us even today.
I see some question live. We do provide also installation installation support on the side as well. Yes, obviously this depends by the country. So it goes to other department. Obviously, we can get always in contact with this with our colleagues, and so yes, we also give installation and support, but please contact also us to get to know from which country you are, because let's say that it also depends by the logistic factors and the resources that we have on site.
Guys, great. I think we can close the webinar. Let's be in touch. Thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully see individually on training sessions or maybe projects support. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Domenico. Thank you, Jaroslav, for support from the back office, I would say. And yes, let's see next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.